Nicole Scott here for Mobile Geeks. Today I'm checking out AI, which is the new concept car from Audi. It's just been released at the Shanghai Auto Show, and it shows a car that is level 4 ready. One of the things that I find most interesting about the light communication on the exterior is that they've included the color yellow. Previously, we've seen a kind of teal color that kind of denotes autonomous and it's very calm. And then we have a green color across the front where the car is actually telling you, hey, pedestrian, I see you. But now we have the introduction of yellow, which I've never seen before on a concept car. And this kind of says at a medium distance, hey, I'm aware of your positioning. And then when it turns red, it's kind of like, you're a little too close. So we're seeing how the car is evolving in a very interesting way through light communication. Why don't we head inside to see how this car transitions from level 4 to level 5? So when we head inside, the first thing you notice is that there is a steering wheel because in level 4 you have the option to drive the car. But since this is a concept car where maybe we don't want to drive, all we have to do is press the 2 buttons on the top, and then the steering wheel will actually slide back away. Built into this dash, we have eye tracking over here and here. This is for the passenger and this side's for me. So we can control an entire immersive experience inside the car. Now, since we have a lot of aspects of this ride that are specialized for ride sharing, I'm going to head into the back and talk about the concept of this car. Hey, Don.
Hi, Nicole.
How's it going?
Very good here in the back of the new Audi.
Yeah, I can see that you've already kind of adopted this leaning stance where the back seat is
enjoying the flowers,
the fresh greenery.
Fresh greenery, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So this car is actually aimed a little bit at the car sharing moment. They've talked a little bit about how we can have food delivered into it, that the side areas are for charging and, easily to keep your rucksack and all your things. So what do you think about this as a new concept car for ride sharing?
It's the first ride sharing or car sharing car in the premium segment. We don't have that. I mean, we have the smaller cars from Smart and we have other show cars, but this is like the first premium show car sharing show car. So you get a glimpse of what Audi is thinking about, how a premium car sharing car should look. And I think it will be very interesting for a lot of people. I mean, you can have the situation that cities will close down their inner parts, like Oslo is doing it or Madrid has done it already. And so you can't drive with your own car there. Maybe they say, okay, car sharing cars are fine, but you don't want to sit like in a small Smart or in a small other car. You want to have something more premium, something has more luxury maybe. And that's why you maybe choose then a car like this.
And what I like about this concept is that you can choose to drive it if you want to.
Yeah,
right? And this kind of you drive a car concept hasn't gone away fully. And this to me is a little bit more realistic from some of these show cars that we've been seeing that just completely drop the steering wheel. I mean, I did love the Audi A from 2 years ago, just that really futuristic living room concept. However, I think that this is a little bit more realistic for how livable it is.
Absolutely. I mean, yes, level 4 autonomous driving will come. We know that. BMW is rolling it out in 2021 or 2022, a bit earlier. Audi, I think, also thinks about end of 2020. So it's coming, level 4 autonomous drive. Level 5 will be something completely different, because level 5 would mean there is no steering wheel anymore. There's nothing. The car drives itself, even in the city. And I think that's going to take some more years because technology is not that far. Or not that developed at the moment. So I think this thing doing at level 4 is like a good glimpse in the future, and not so far away future. I mean, we talked with Mark Lichter, who designed the whole thing, and he said that could be done in 2 years. So if they want to decide to build it, it can be done in 2.5 years.
So there is one thing that I was a little bit distracted when you were talking, just because this midline cut
Yeah.
Right through the window. It really just keeps on capturing my eye as I look at you. And this is the first time I've seen a car manufacturer decide to have a midway window, that the top doesn't lower, that the bottom part goes away and your body is cooled, and the top kind of stops your hair from blowing around. Is this the first time you've seen something like this in a car?
I try to remember if there is any car from the 30s or 50s or something like that that had maybe these ideas. Maybe if you go down into a lot of research, you maybe find one. But I can't remember any car who has this kind of vertical, horizontal line that goes around the car. It's a very well designed car. It has a lot of nice ideas, especially with the touch features, with the hidden buttons, which is the thing Audi is doing a lot also with their new cars now.
Their new cars today.
And I think it's also very interesting that they're showing it not on some place here in Europe. They show it in Shanghai on the auto show.
The fact that it's launched directly into Shanghai, I think, is really quite interesting, because they're going to be, I think, one of the first to actually launch autonomous car sharing as a service a little more quickly than others. And if you look at automotive manufacturers in general, we're starting to see a lot of companies use Shanghai specifically as a bed of test, right?
Yes.
So Mini has their apartment building that they've actually incorporated car sharing into the lifestyle. They also have a clothing brand and blah, blah, blah. But China is faster to adopt new concepts of lifestyle than any other region in the world.
And China is more, I think the car sharing didn't took off so far in China, but I think it's just a matter of time, because the more people want to get the car, the harder it gets. Even if you have an e-car, it's hard to get the license plate, it's hard to get the parking spot, etc. So car sharing, especially luxury car sharing, can be really a thing in China. And I think launching this car in Shanghai, showing it at the auto show, also shows the respect Audi has for China and the customers there. And also that they see that there is maybe a demand on luxury car sharing in China, like in cities in Shanghai and Beijing, where you, to be honest, when you drive a car, the most time you are in a traffic jam and just do nothing. And cars like these are perfect for these kind of situations.
Well, and when you start to look at Didi, which is the biggest ride sharing in China, and you compare their numbers to Uber and Lyft and Grab, right? I think the last time I looked, Didi's numbers are double all other car sharing platforms globally combined, right? So the number of trips that they're able to do and the data that they're able to gather to really roll out a concept like this in the real world is genuinely exciting.
Yeah, but it's also working in Europe. Just imagine, say you have the thing goes level 4, so you don't have to take care of it. Imagine you want to make a trip to Paris from, let's say, from Stuttgart or from Frankfurt or some place like that. So it's like a 4 to 6 hour ride with a car. So you can, and you want to have a car sharing car. Maybe in the future you share this car with other people. So there are people you don't know, they get in the same car, you don't know if they are nice people or not so nice people, but it's cheap to get to Paris this way. On the other hand, you could rent for yourself a car like this on your own. So this is more a luxury thing. Yes, it costs you more, but it also have your privacy, it's a bit more quiet, you don't have to share it, etc., etc. And I think this will make a difference, and I think this will be also interesting for European customers. And I still think that it's going to make a difference if you arrive at your hotel, if you arrive in a very small car sharing car, or if you arrive in an Audi or a Mercedes or a BMW or these kind of luxury brands.
Well, this is one of the interesting things about some of the car manufacturers that are launching their EVs in China. So let's take Byton, for example. Part of their concept is that their car is going to be a car sharing car, right? But luxury and car sharing, to me, don't necessarily go hand in hand.
Oh, why not?
So me sharing a car with 3 other people, luxury to me.
No, you don't have to. Maybe luxury is renting a car like this.
Is renting a car like this.
No,
just
renting or sharing.
Just sharing the concept. But ride sharing to me doesn't scream. Doesn't scream luxury, because you need that kind of privacy moment. So I'm curious to see how a manufacturer like that is going to roll out ride sharing in a luxury way. because the two seem to me don't necessarily fit.
I think there's a fit in it, and I think this concept shows that there is a possibility that you can build up a ride sharing or car sharing service like this. Of course, the maintenance is a bit higher because when you get into a car, you expect it spotless clean, etc., etc. You don't want to have like the garbage of the guy or the girl who rented it before. But I think it can work, especially like in environments where individual cars are not allowed anymore. So what are you going to do? So this is the concept you want to use.
So I'm just going to ground Don into a real world example where we were in Los Angeles.
Oh yes.
With Audi, and we had the pleasure of trying Uber Express Pool.
Oh yes.
So this ride sharing concept is with strangers, right? And it's so cheap, right? And so I loved this concept, but mostly because I found the people that got in the car with me were crazy, right?
Yeah, and it was short. It was just a few miles.
It was just a few miles.
So you don't mind if somebody comes in and is totally crazy. You think, whoa.
Well, to me, I loved it because I thought it was purely entertaining.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, like the entertainment value was gold for me.
But you don't want to have it for 6 hours.
But I don't want to have it for 6 hours. So to me, this Uber Express Pool, which is the cheapest of the cheap, I'm having trouble reconciling that with luxury.
No,
right?
that's not working. No. That's just, I want to get as quick as possible and as cheap as possible from A to B in the city, like a few miles or a few kilometers. But if you want to go from here to Frankfurt or Hamburg or Paris or Amsterdam, wherever, and you don't own a car, but you want to have your privacy, then this kind of car sharing could be a thing. I'm not saying that's happening, but I just say that could be a thing, and I think that's also why Audi made this concept.
No, I totally agree with you. And this is a 10-year out kind of concept. So Uber Express Pool will have some time
to adjust
its model. So now let's just finish off with a couple other things from inside the car. Now I did have a photo of me with my shoes off in this lovely car, because they've actually created this carpet from a fishnet that is so soft that they suggest that you feel it with your feet, and it is really nice.
It's interesting what Audi is doing with these kind of carpets, because they did it also in the e-tron GT, like this vegan carpet, which was also made out of old fishnets, but this one is also made with some wool, so it's not vegan for that.
Yeah, so this
also the cushion, the seatings, etc. I think the concept, I mean, we saw some stuff also in the e-tron GT already, some of the icons and some of the art, art in a way, how they use now this bottomless way of manufacturing and also of using the car, because there are no buttons anymore. No.
Yeah, and I found it really interesting on the side console. It's actually an architectural material. Yeah. This isn't a material that's usually found inside of cars. So the buttons are kind of built in, and everything's just really beautiful. And it doesn't feel as telephone box like, I guess, as some of the other ones. The interior is very spacious. Personally, I can't wait. It's spacious. It's very organic. Not everything, but most of the stuff. And it's, I mean, again, you have these plants here growing. I'm just wondering who is giving them water, but anyway. Well, that'll come. That'll come later.
That will come later. But it's a nice idea. But the whole concept for me is it's working. It's thoroughly thought through.
Yeah, it's thoroughly thought through, and the way that they have the 360 soundbar all around all around the car, and when they kind of played that "we're going to calm you down" moment, I mean, I already felt pretty calm.
This is the first one I sat in a show car that actually had working what is it called? Eye tracking. Yeah, thank you.
It's got the two different ones, and it actually worked for him on the side as well. I noticed.
It worked on the side. It worked from the back, and it worked also from the drivers. So you can track things on the screen with your eyes. And if you look at something, then the menu pops up. So you can go through the menus with eye tracking. I find it very, very amazing, and it worked really well, even in this show car.
So there's a lot of things that I can't wait to see implemented inside of our next Audi.
I mean, secretly, they said that maybe some of the stuff you see is A8 stuff for the next generation.
Oh my goodness!
Maybe.
We're
gonna see.
Oh, hope there were no spoilers there, Don. We've signed embargoes, you know.
Yeah, no, it's an embargo.
All right, so thanks for taking the time to sit in the back of the IME with me and to talk about just where ride sharing is going with these types of cool concepts.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thanks, Don.